Lindsey, welcome, and we could totally chop this out.
Okay.
But I asked you over text, you said, do you want to come as yourself or your character? And I said, come as yourself, but we don't have to talk about your character. I don't want to break kayfabe. And you said you did not know kayfabe.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is.
So I was going to try and explain kayfabe. Maybe Adam could do it better.
No, you do it better.
Okay, it's like carnival slang, and it's been used a lot in professional wrestling, which I'm not a very big fan of. I don't really watch much professional wrestling, but so the guy that is The Rock is different from the guy that's Dwayne Johnson off of wrestling. Oh, okay. So you would never, like, when you see The Rock in person, he's like, I'm The Rock, I'm going to beat Hulk Hogan's ass. And then if you get Dwayne Johnson in an interview, he's breaking kayfabe to do the interview.
Gotcha.
Which Hulk Hogan famously used that in the court of law because he was accused of something, and it said that was the character of Hulk Hogan. That was not Terry, whatever his actual name was.
Well, you can do that?
He tried it. I don't think it worked out for him. But yeah.
So
look it up.
I don't know if you have a Hannah Montana situation with Lolly Goodwoman, your persona. We can cut this out if you do.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you are allowed to talk about Lolly Goodwoman as a character.
Totally fine with me.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
we're the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a little while. I've seen Lolly a lot around town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm a little more shy than her.
Okay, well, now that we have that out of the way, let's introduce the show.
Gingerbread Man Down, Clean Up on Aisle Podcast.
Welcome back to Clean Up on Aisle Podcast, the dirty truth about grocery stores. I'm your host, Jef Harmatz, joined with your other host, Adam Fligsten. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I am doing okay.
Yeah.
And we've got a fantastic guest in the studio with us today. As has been previously discussed, it's not Lolly Goodwoman, it's Lindsey Andersen.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Andersen.
Sorry, I totally mangled your name. Well, oh boy.
Third time's a charm.
Lindsey Andersen.
Thank you.
Lots of
Got it.
NDs and S's
Yeah.
in that name.
Yeah.
And I say that as a guy with a very bad, hard name to say.
Jef Harmatz? It's not that hard.
It's how is it Hormatz? Is it Horvitz? Is it Hermitz?
Oh.
You know.
Can I call you Hormatz?
Sure can.
Oh.
I used to get called Doormats by my cousin. Yes.
No.
Jeff Doormat.
Rude.
He was a Jarvis.
Well, I don't get this.
What's a Jarvis?
Oh, that's my cousin. That's his last name. That's like a normal.
That's his last name.
Yeah,
I thought it
a-
was a slang. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
No. I mean, speaking of personas, Adam and I were at a local restaurant with a hopefully future guest of this podcast who Adam and I have kind of like, I hope it's okay to say weird Jewy names.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we were hanging out with a friend who has two first names. And my partner also has two first names. Like her legitimate last name is also a first name. Same with our other friend. And we were bemoaning like, we should have picked easier names to say. And Lindsey Andersen, that's like a classic American name, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But you've also taken on a even catchier persona of Lolly Goodwoman.
Yeah.
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 So I guess let's talk about Stagefright real quick, if that's okay.
Sure.
We're going to circle all the way. We've got an absolutely bananas topic to talk about today. We're talking about grocery store flooring and tiles. But we do want to hear about what you've got going on. Lolly Goodwoman is the front person, fictional front person. From what band?
From Stagefright.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Stagefright is a community performance art band. And I do front the band as an alter ego, Lolly Goodwoman, who is chronically late and has an overactive appetite for sex and marijuana. And the band Stagefright is a project that encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses costume, music, community, politics. It's a band where we have performers who are brand new to performing and have never performed. Sometimes a random person from the audience is in the band. And then there are also very talented, skilled, heavy professional players. And I really am proud of that mix of artists being present because I think sometimes art scenes can be a little gatekeepy. And people try to like work mostly with people who are at their similar level of experience or expertise. And, like when we're kids, it's not like you're only allowed to speak English with other toddlers, Like
you have to talk to a grown-up.
Right, you have to talk to people.
Yeah.
People, and like you get experience practicing language with people of all levels of experience, and actually practicing with people with more experience in the language is going to make you better. And also people with more experience in the language get an interesting they get something like an interesting dynamic is created where they're re-examining language from like a beginner's perspective, right? Or they're getting the satisfaction of like teaching somebody something. So that's something that I really like about the band that I'm proud of. And and then Lolly as a persona or as an alter ego. I mean, she really, it's a weird thing to talk about. It's a weird thing to do.
We've Adam, have you seen Stagefright?
I saw you.
Oh, yes, I performed with Stagefright, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But if I could describe Lolly, Adam, would you like to describe Lolly?
No, that's all.
You said no, like definitely
I just
not.
don't know. I think Jef understands the gravity of the character, the depth of the character in a way that I do not.
It's your persona. Rainbow wig, very dominating, smeared lipstick, Groucho glasses and eyebrows, usually wearing either multicolored like lingerie or jet black lingerie if it's a sad or spooky affair, and always late, very chaotic, and that's how I would describe Lolly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would describe you that way. I think I've hung out with Lolly more than I've actually hung out with Lindsey.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I created Lolly, I think, because I was experiencing a lot of shame and fear. And I was new to a very small town, and I was doing some kind of radical and different things. And I didn't really know how to talk about it. And it felt scary to talk about it as myself. And so a couple things happened. Another thing that was kind of part of it is like when I moved to the desert, I lived in New York City for 12 years, and then I lived in Los Angeles for 3 years. And I was pursuing a more sort of mainstream acting career during that time and doing funkier, more underground art sort of like on the side. And I was always working a day job. And I was always at zero at the end of every month, and it was hard to pay rent. And a lot of artists experience this cycle. And I kind of crashed and burned in LA, and I left, and I quit everything. And this was my childhood dream, and it was a pretty devastating thing to do, to really give up and move to the middle of the desert and completely start over. So I really started over from nothing there, and I kind of gave up performing, and I knew that I was an artist and that I would always I would reinvent myself somehow, but I really separated myself from everything that I had been doing and studying as an adult. And then when I came out here, I mainly just focused on rebuilding my life and trying to create a life with a very low overhead so that I could have a chance at sustaining myself as an artist, or at least in ways where I didn't feel like I was compromising my values a lot to earn an income and feed myself. So, that my first step was eliminating rent. And then I bought the property for $9,000 from someone I knew. It was a very lucky, fortunate situation. And I built an off-grid home from almost nothing. And with the help of friends and strangers and incredible community, I really landed in an amazing community.
I want to ask you because we were maybe one of the more iconic residents of Wonder Valley. How would you describe Wonder Valley? That's where you live. That's where you most often perform, I guess.
That's our home. That's Stagefright's home. Is the Palms in Wonder Valley, which is the only business in our one-bar town.
One of the most fantastic places that exists in the world, I would say.
It's really special.
Adam just moved out here, and
I love the Palms. I describe it for people who have never been out here. Imagine a dive bar in the middle of the desert, in the best way possible. What you are picturing is the Palms with also the coolest people. That's it.
And these are the kinds of things we should not say because it brings more people. No, I don't want to be gatekeeping about the Palms. I think it's a very cool place. I do think it is important to provide context for which that business exists. It's a family-owned business. They've owned it for 30 years. And the people who are primarily responsible for managing it, Laura Sibley and Kevin Bone, or Laura Sibley Bone and Kevin Bone, they're married. They are incredibly generous and heart-filled people who love that business and run it for their community. They really, they're running it for the art of it. They are not running that place to make a bunch of money and to make a profit. And it's very hard these days to find people who are running businesses basically as a community service and not with the goal of making more and more money. So, when you go to the Palms and you see how low the prices are, please tip very highly, okay? Seriously, because the people are working there, out of the goodness of their heart.
And then, so that's the Palms,
Yeah.
and that's in Wonder Valley, which, so we live in the high desert. We're, I'm in Yucca Valley, Adam's in Joshua Tree, and when people come out from LA or New York, we're 40 minutes from the closest airport, so, and then you drive 40 minutes and you're like, oh, this feels like kind of out there. And then from Joshua Tree, from the entrance to Joshua Tree National Park, you have to drive another 40 minutes to get to Wonder Valley.
Yeah.
So you got to drive all the way through 29 Palms, and then you're still 25 minutes from Wonder Valley. What is the vibe in Wonder Valley?
So, I mean, it's you like anywhere, you can choose your own adventure. What I like about living there, I mean, this is a place where it's incredibly harsh to live, right? It's 10 to 15 degrees hotter than the rest of the high desert. So,
and the high desert itself is tough. I mean, I don't know how it was in Wonder Valley, but I could not sleep last night. I was woken up by a devastating windstorm, that wind and rain that took down everybody's fences. A guy I work with had his glass door, all of his windows were blown in. Even when you're in town, it's a nightmare, and you're way, way, way out of town.
Yeah. So, this is a place where, you have to literally worry about your physical survival for most of the year. It's not an easy place to live. It's beautiful. It's got 360-degree mountain views. It has an endless sky of stars. It has beautiful flora and fauna. If you look a little deeper than the immediate sort of desolate seeming landscape, it is more desolate compared to Joshua Tree National Park because Wonder Valley is in a rain shadow. It gets a lot less rain than the high desert, so there's a lot less growing and living out there, but there's still plenty of stuff happening. So everyone who is living out there, also we're, a little further from emergency services. We don't have a fire department. We don't have it's going to take a long time for an ambulance to get to you. We don't have city water. A lot of us are not on the power grid. A lot of people are very poor, living well below the poverty line. It's kind of it's an end of the line place for a lot of people. And, I kind of when people tell me, I just moved to Wonder Valley. My first question is, oh, cool. What went wrong in your life? Because it's I don't know. There are exceptions, There are people who are moving out there and they're building fancy homes and they're putting mini splits in and they're creating a contained sealed box around them and the rest of their natural environment. And I could say more about that.
No,
but there's also a very diverse population of people, like politically, economically, racially, it's pretty white. But because of the proximity to the Marine base, it's not totally white. A lot of our Marines and vets are people of color. So it's a place where, because it's harsh to live and because we're farther from services, we're much more interdependent on each other than we would be in a larger town. Because the Palms is the only business, we all have to see each other every weekend. Unless you're a real desert hermit and you don't go to the Palms, which plenty of people are. Those guys are out there too, for sure.
I wanted to ask about so Stagefright. You sing a lot of songs about living in the desert, and I did want to hit on this, and I definitely want to get back to like Wonder Valley,
sure.
but like you invited me to perform with you recently,
yeah,
for the Christmas show.
Yeah, you were great.
And well, thank you. I was not fishing for compliments, but the band is called Stagefright.
Yeah,
and you were talking about kind of using that art as a re-entry into the world, and like, I know that when Stagefright first showed up, it was very much like, we are the people who are too afraid to be artistic and too afraid to perform.
Yeah.
And now that Stagefright has, well, I guess that concept in itself is like, this is the band that's scared to perform. That's how you pitched it as,
sure.
right? Are you still afraid to perform?
Yes.
Okay.
I am afraid and super nervous before every single show. I'm learning to have more fun on stage, and that's exciting. And I definitely created Stagefright with a goal of like providing people a loophole so that to get over their fear of performing, including myself. But also it's an invitation for more seasoned artists to explore things that they might be afraid to try on stage, or to take themselves less seriously, a lot of the a costume is a big part of that. Gender bending is a big part of that. There are definitely people in the band or who have been in the band in the past who used the performative nature of the band to explore their gender in ways they were afraid to do so in public everyday life. So and that's not necessarily explicit. That's just something that's happening on stage. And we're talking about it here in the podcast because you're asking me about it, but it's not necessarily, that's just like something that's going, there are things happening on stage that are like a little more, I think, covert.
Okay. I mean, I also want to just say it's like a really silly band too, right?
Well, yeah. So I was going to ask about that specifically. And I say this reverentially.
Yeah.
It's a silly band.
It's very silly.
Was this, I love that about it. Was this a conscious sort of rejection of over serious art?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And totally coming from LA, from a world where I had headshots. I spent money on my hair. I put makeup on every day. I tried to be a certain way. Lolly always has smeared lipstick. That is my fuck you to the industry and the standards of beauty. Absolutely. It's also so freeing to just go on stage and just put on lipstick, and it's bad. And I'm going to do the whole show, and I'm not going to spend an hour on my face.
Yeah.
If I do more makeup, it's for fun, and it's still gonna be kind of fucked up. Yeah. Also, not over rehearsing, throwing new things in the show, not insisting that all of my musicians be super perfect. I definitely have an inner perfectionist, and I think all artists do. That's fine. She keeps me working. She checks my shit.
Well, so Adam is a musician, and I've known Adam for, 20 years now. And I don't think I ever saw you perform music live until a couple of years ago at our version of LA's, when we were in LA, we were part of a silly open community artist platform, Highland Park TV. And I saw you perform for the very first time, and I was like very moved to see you do that.
That's nice.
But how do you relate your music to performing?
Well, so I relate it. Okay. There was a period where I was trying to be an artist out in the world, performing and using a pseudonym and stuff like that. And it was clear that I had to perform shows. And Jef, you were not in LA during this period.
Okay.
I was almost about to wear a clown costume because of, I think, for maybe similar subconscious reasons of like wanting to make fun of the artifice of it all, wanting a bit of a mask or a bit of armor against my actual self and the what I'm doing. I didn't, but there's a part of me that almost wishes I had leaned into it a little more. So yeah, I relate to it very, very much. I think
It's not too late.
Yeah.
Do you have stage fright?
I don't enjoy performing.
Wow.
I don't freak out before I perform, but after I'm done, I never really. I have a handful of times, but more often than not, I'm just like, I don't get that like, yeah, hell yeah, that I think a lot of people get.
Me too.
Yeah.
Nah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw my hat into the ring because like you invited me to perform. I wrote a very goofy Christmas novelty song, the Christmas Mash.
With such a jam.
It's basically just the Monster Mash, but with Christmas stuff.
Brilliant.
And you invited me to perform it with Stagefright at the Palms.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to last year, and I did it this year, and I had big stage fright. I guess I'm a performer professionally these days. I'm on the radio 4 hours a day every weekday, and I almost had a panic attack, being like, I got to go do this on stage. And I'm not used to doing stuff live.
Yeah.
And so I went to the rehearsal, which was it's the first time I've been to the Palms twice in one day because that's very far from me.
Yeah.
But I came and I really fucked up the rehearsal. I don't know if you remember, but I did a really bad job with the rehearsal, and I was so embarrassed to fail in front of your band Stage Fright, and I'm like, I got some real stage fright here. So I went to the 29 Palms Beer Company, and I had a grocery store receipt in my pocket, as usual. I mean, not intentionally. I go to the grocery store a lot. And I wrote the lyrics for the song on the back of a receipt, and then during the show, I, read it live, because that's the only way I could not choke and fuck up. I'm a big choker. I used to play cello. We'd always choke. And I did great, and it was so fun to perform with you guys. It overcame my stage fright.
There you go.
And you were, one of the best parts of the show, and it's one of the things that people mentioned over and over. They were like, we loved Christmas Mash. And it did not matter that you were reading from a receipt at all.
I was like, it's more important to not fuck up than to look cool while doing the thing.
You looked cool enough.
Okay, reading off of my long fucking Stater Brothers receipt.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's so stage fright, especially because it's a Stater Bros receipt.
Yes.
Especially because of that. It's local.
Yeah. But I had a stage fright moment with the band Stage Fright. It was a very Merry Christmas for me. And thank you again.
That's so great.
Yes.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's awesome. That's exactly kind of the goal.
Yes.
Because we all it's so easy to judge yourself and be afraid of other people's judgment. But then the joy that you bring to your community when you put yourself out there in a vulnerable way and share your creativity and just let go and do something silly, literally for the point. I mean, as a kid, one of my favorite things to do was get my siblings and dress them up in funny costumes and put on a show for our friends or my parents or whoever the hell would watch, And it's not any different now that we're just older. We still all want to do that. We all still have that childlike desire inside of us to entertain and be entertained by people we know, by friends, and so it gives me a lot of joy to see that happen. And I see that I teach kids. I just started teaching art and music to kids in 29 Palms as part of the Groundwork Arts After School program. And it's so, you'll see a kid be so afraid to do something, and then I'll just be like, okay, I know it's scary, but like, we're going to practice doing it. And we're going to say in this class, everybody's going to be supportive. And like, you watch that kid, like just make a little sound or sing a little thing or make a little move, and their face lights up and the rest of the class is like, yeah. And it's like so exciting, right? Because I think there is something like we need to be able to share ourselves authentically. Yeah, we need to not be afraid of that. And so community performance and creativity and art and humor is really a good doorway into that.
And we are going, and we have a lot to get to. We are going to talk about.
Is this a 4-hour podcast?
No, we usually shoot for about 90 minutes.
90
but,
minutes, but
Okay, that's pretty long.
We are going to talk about. I'm excited. I think like we've had some very, I don't want to say dumb topics, but like really super specific topics, and this might be the most super specific topic episode we've ever done.
We did conveyor belts
with Vera Drew, and that was
Vera
like
Drew.
She picked that one specifically. She's like, I wanted to throw myself on the grenade of this topic so no one else would have to do conveyor belts. And Vera was fantastic. We had so much fun talking with Vera.
Good episode.
Yeah.
It feels like we're already getting into it.
Well, we have to.
Okay, let's go back to that.
Okay, we'll go back to that.
Put a pin in that.
But we're going to have some very goofy ass fun.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But before we get to that, where did you grow up, and what was your early grocery store experiences?
Okay. I grew up in Woodacre, California, which is about an hour north of San Francisco. It's a beautiful little town nestled in the redwood trees. When I grew up there in the 80s and 90s, still pretty like hippie vibes, maybe starting to transition to yuppie vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I had upper middle class parents, and they owned their home, and so Woodacre is like kind of far away from, there's no sidewalks or streetlights there, and there's only one little tiny market in the town. So we had to go into town for our groceries. I guess the most foundational grocery store for me was Lucky Supermarket.
I'm a Lucky guy myself. I'm from Long Beach. Rip to Lucky. That was the real one. I do love Lucky. Apart from for this topic, I was looking up pictures of Lucky. I've got like some printed out photos of Lucky that we could marvel at a little later on. But how far was the Lucky from Woodacre?
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, can we get into the floor tile?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I want
to.
So, like, you gave me a bunch of things to choose from for this podcast. Like, what topics should I say? And I gravitated toward floor tiling because one of my early memories is going to Lucky Supermarket, which I loved going there, and kind of looking at the floor tiles and trying, you know how they'd have sometimes like little diamonds and little like checker kind of patterns in them, and I would like play a game of like stepping on only the diamonds.
I was the exact same way, and this is exactly what I thought we would be talking about in this episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So lots of people do this?
I was trying to find out like the name of that game. My sister and I used to play it. We used to call it like Poison, where so we're talking about the Lucky floor tiles are I believe they're linoleum, like heavy lacquered linoleum.
Yeah.
And they would have like most of them would be one color, but then there would be like an unusual colored tile or a different pattern. Adam, I've got to ask, did you play like any variation of this when you were a kid, like with grocery store floor tiles?
So, I mean, you know, don't step on a crack or something like that. But no, I'm struggling to picture these specific Lucky floor tiles.
This is a black and white, but there's orange, green, and red tiles here.
Okay. All right.
So it's like, they're little squares, but they're all pretty much like just different colored linoleum.
Right.
And it was like checkered, but some of the things were a little highlighted in there. Is this bringing back some memories? That's another Lucky in Southern California. Lindsay, is this giving you some flashbacks here?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So here's one with...
There's the one with the diamond, exactly.
Damn.
Okay.
That's my shit right there.
It's like a yellow and green alternating checker pattern with like a brown diamond like offset in there. Like
Would you get a diamond in your gold tooth?
Wow. Yeah, wait, can I see it again? It is kind of unusual, right? And like sort of asymmetrical.
Yeah, so I've never seen that diamond. So what for people who are picturing this, I remember these types of tiles at school and places like that, very industrial kind of places. That diamond is unique, though. That's something that I've never seen.
This is something that probably would have irritated. I think I had a bit of OCD as a child because like it would irritate me that only one side of the diamond has green and the other three are all white. Like I would want that green to be balanced on the other side.
It's extremely
as a child.
asymmetrical.
But maybe that drew you to paying attention.
It
to
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of the other, would you ever do this thing where like I would do a thing where I'm like only going to step on the cracks right in the center of my foot.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess that's like formative childhood grocery store stuff. Like, and this hasn't really come up on our show. I mean, we've been doing the show for more than 6 months, and like, I have a lot of like early like memories of grocery store stuff, and like really like stepping on particularly colored tiles was like very like that's one of the first
That's
things
a
I
core
remember.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Not something that like you did the craft.
Oh, yeah,
thing?
no, for sure.
Okay.
I, when you put it that way, just like, yes, alternate. If they're alternating, you want to just step on the, darker colors or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
I think Lucky just had the best like linoleum floors.
I think
best
they were just very interesting. Yeah.
They really put some thought into it.
Look at that diamond. That's out there. I don't think you would see a diamond. Would you see that today?
Oh, with it, like I've got some big theories we'll get to about floor tiles in grocery stores. I've got some concepts, but I want to do it. I want to do a quick speed run through your history with grocery stores.
Okay.
So you said you were in New York and California.
Yeah.
How did you find those grocery stores compared when you moved from California to New York? You went from Lucky to Seatown or whatever. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, the grocery stores in New York City were pretty cramped, small.
You could say bad. I've said bad.
Well, for a bit I lived on the Lower East Side, and there was a little health food store there that was a great little health food store, but it was expensive. My primary grocery store in New York was the Food Co-op in Brooklyn, which is the best grocery store in the world.
Do you know what neighborhood in Brooklyn that
Park
is?
Slope.
Oh, okay. I know exactly.
It's like the OG Food
Okay,
Co-op.
I know exactly
Was established in
which
the
one.
70s.
Yeah.
And
Do you have to volunteer?
yes, you had to work a shift every month in order to be a member. And the prices were so cheap and the food was so good and it was all local. And like it really showed me how crazy the food markups are in normal grocery stores. And it was just like it was the best store to shop at because everyone there also had to work there. So everybody was chill and respectful and helpful. You bagged your own groceries. You know, the job that I signed up for was for people who lived within a certain walking distance of the food co-op. You could walk your cart all the way back to your apartment. And so I would follow people to their apartments, and then I would bring the cart back.
Oh, wow.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like working outside. I get to see people's place.
Sure.
Sometimes people need help with their groceries inside, and I help them and like get to see their cool apartments and stuff, and get to know your neighbors. And like, it's possible to have affordable, high quality food. It's completely possible. And it's sad that is not the model and the norm.
So far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
No.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
No.
Well, this might be the right time to ask about the grocery store situation in Wonder Valley, which is non-existent as far as I'm aware. But you said that you are supporting people in your community and like working with people. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine the closest grocery store to you is like Stater Brothers, which is 30 minutes from the Palms about?
25, 30 minutes.
29 Palms.
Yeah, Stater Brothers or grocery outlet.
Grocery outlet across the
They're
street.
literally across the street
Yeah.
from each other. I guess there's a Dollar General grocery store that might be a little closer.
But that's basically similar location.
Yeah.
It's a couple blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big transition, like moving to a food desert. And like I've lived out here for 10 years. And like 10 years ago, Stater Bros did not have a sushi bar.
Mm-hmm.
It did not have organic produce. Like,
me and Adam were out carousing one night with some guys who worked at the 29 Palm Stater Brothers, and they were like so stoked. At midnight at Tiny Pony in Yucca Valley, they were like, "Wait till you see the new Stater Brothers. It's going to knock your socks off." So I'm thrilled to hear that you're psyched about it. That's
I wouldn't say I'm psyched about it. No, I'm not at all.
Okay, not into it.
No.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not into it.
All
it's
right.
a corporate grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the amount of plywood they used to put up their new enormous, crazy sign, like Stater Bros sign? Like, they built a new facade. It's funny because like the grocery outlet view used to be like so beautiful, and I swear to God, Stater Bros, like, in retaliation for gross out probably changing traffic so that it was harder to get to Staters, built this huge facade to like block the mountain from the grocery store.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. They built it because they were like, well, now that we have competition, we need higher visibility. You know, and like architecturally, it's so ugly and it's so wasteful, and the amount of money it cost to like make the quote unquote upgrades that the store felt were necessary to compete in capitalism, like, it's sad. All that money could have gone to employees. It could have gone into lower prices. It could have whatever. Like,
so you're not a fan of the new Stater Brothers, really?
I mean, well, I like the sushi bar is pretty nice. You know, that's cool. But no, the prices are getting expensive, more expensive. And now I'm shopping at Gross Out more. Like, I go there first now. I do love the employees at Stater Bros. They're really cool.
As far as we know, they are union.
Yeah,
they're Stater Brothers.
Yeah.
So I do find that when you go to a store that people are in a union, they are much happier and friendlier and generally more pleased to be there.
Yeah.
Work sucks for everybody. Work
Yeah.
sucks. I know,
But we should all collectively bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still shop there.
Okay. Do you go? How often do you go?
2 to 3 times a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So less than once a week.
Yeah.
All right.
And you stock up on stuff that'll last you for the next couple weeks?
I will stock up, but also I live in community with a community of people where we take turns shopping and
That's cool.
and sharing meals and cooking for each other. So,
Okay. I wanted to ask about the community element of the grocery shopping. You're still have that kind of co-op mindset where you're helping other people out and y'all are far from the shops.
Yeah.
So you work together. You do it as a team.
100%. Yeah. One person goes into town. Like, do you need anything? Like, because gas is expensive, and we're all trying to save the planet and be good to each other. So, yeah, that's something that we do a lot.
And I hope this is not like a weird question or whatever, but I know
I
that
love weird questions.
Okay, well, you're very involved with the community out there, and I this is not your responsibility to do this, but is there like any talk of maybe trying to figure out a way to like bring a co-op into Wonder Valley or do like a farmer's market, even if it's once a month or anything like that? Is there any scuttlebutt amongst the community?
So there's a few things going on food-wise within the community. One is that like Friends of Wonder Valley are working, which is a nonprofit organization in Wonder Valley. They're working on a community kitchen at our community center, which we have. The community kitchen already exists, but they're going to make some upgrades to it and make it easier for people to rent out that community center to cook things. And at least that's my understanding about it. Maybe you fact check that. And then also it's, there's a lot of people working on things on sort of like an unofficial level in our community. So like it's more like community members, like the Facebook page of Wonder Valley gardeners who are sharing the tips of like how to grow something in this really harsh environment, or like people who are kind of like pioneering this gardening spirit. And so I kind of feel like a community garden is maybe on the horizon sooner for us than, we have a food distribution. So
That's
like
Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino County.
Yeah.
And USDA.
Oh,
Federal USDA.
Yeah. And so that's a big part of, but the quality of those food boxes is often like, maybe there are a few things in there that are highly nutritious or nice things, but a lot of it is like, not the best. A lot of it is like high sugar and heavily processed canned goods. It's not fresh. A lot of it's not, frozen sometimes, but like it's not like a bunch of fresh food. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's I think it's time to dig into the back into the topic. I know we started to touch on the topic, and we were talking about, so I think for certain people like you, Lindsey, and like me, those floor tiles at a grocery store is like just a super specific core memory. That said, this is kind of a bananas topic to talk about. Adam, you said that we were talking about conveyor belts with
Vera.
writer, director, actor, the People's Joker herself, Vera Drew. And you had some thoughts on like how, like, is that the most specific one we've done so far?
Yeah, that's got to be the most
Okay.
specific one.
Conveyor belts.
Conveyor belts. But this one feels, at least for me, I had a harder time researching this one in terms of getting my, like, how are we going to crack this in the podcast? The other one I had a plan for. This one I'm a little more willy-nilly about it.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, again, like, it's so specific, and like my starting point was very much those specific Lucky stores that we remember from kids. I was trying to figure out, okay, what is that grocery store floor? Like, starting centrally from, I was born in '84, so I'm having memories from like late '80s, early '90s. That's when I'm talking about, like, the Lucky California era. That's what I'm thinking of specifically. And I don't know very much about flooring. Like, I'm not an interior designer. I know that there's like tile. I think when I pitched this topic to both of you, I was like, tile floors of grocery stores, but I think it's actually like heavily lacquered linoleum in that sense in what we're talking about.
It's vinyl composite tile is what it's called.
Okay, so I started from the linoleum thing, and linoleum is different from vinyl.
Yeah, sort of, but sort of yes and sort of
okay. Well, I dug into the history of both the vinyl tile and the linoleum, but like, what is the specific thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around?
So, okay, it might have been asbestos, what you guys were looking at.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
Fun.
Yeah, so it's vinyl asbestos.
Oh my god.
That they used up until the late 70s.
Okay.
When they were building these stores. Now,
Everything is fucking poison.
Yeah.
It's so fun in the 20th century.
for the record, just so everybody knows, asbestos is only dangerous when it gets disturbed. So if you're just walking on it, it will be
I
fine.
feel like a child is jumping on it up and down over and over again.
No, it has to be like powdered, inhaled.
Right. Okay.
So the purpose of these tiles were and they were ubiquitous, and they're not all asbestos. Then they started to be non-asbestos, and like the ones that I remember very vividly in school were maybe yes or maybe not. So we don't know for sure, but it's the same concept. The goal was to have a single. You can see them. They're 12 by 12. And if one gets chipped or cracked or broken or something like that, you could just use a heat gun. You melt the goo underneath it, and then you pick it up, clean it, and you put down a new tile. And that's why these were so revolutionary. They're also not what's the word I'm looking for? Water can go through them, which is why when we were at school, that we'd have those guys with those big spinny kind of machines, because basically you have to constantly wax them.
Okay, so it's not even. I assumed it was kind of a lacquer, but it is a wax on those.
They call it wax, but it is not actual wax. It is acrylic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, I'm such a bad chemical guy. Like, I know.
Plastic.
Yeah.
Right.
So asbestos and plastic, something that's so beloved from our childhood.
Yeah. So it's basically think of little bits of rock and dust mixed with plastic. Various types of plastic.
Okay.
That's what we...
This substance was invented in the 70s, you're saying?
No. It was invented in... okay. It's complicated.
Okay. Well, I went all the way as far back as to linoleum in the late 19th century.
Yeah, that's kind of where I started. So you want to start there?
Yeah, so the guy that invented linoleum, a Englishman, Frederick Walton, and he noticed, like... Did you paint, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Oh, he noticed the skin on the top of the paint, and he's like, "What if we made a floor out of that?" So that's like the genesis of linoleum, and then like they started. It is a combination of linseed oil and oh boy, where's the other one? And just sorry, I'm blanking on. I don't know. It's vinyl and just linseed oil and some other things, and like he would kind of get that marbled look, and you could kind of spread it out on a floor, but you could also make like a tiling that would kind of be able to be laid down. So that's why I assumed that the grocery store flooring I'm thinking of is like just heavily lacquered linoleum, but it's its own thing.
Wow, wait, this says cheap cotton cloth dipped until a thick coating was formed.
It's a very reusable system. I mean, I don't know if it's good for the environment, but it was like used of like not compostable materials, but it was like discard materials were incorporated into the linoleum.
It's fascinating because this is my primary medium is waste paint and fabric.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
That's my primary medium. And like I will make sculptures out of that. Like I'll go to the Hazardous Use Center in Palm Springs on their paint drop-off day, and I'll pick up the whatever paint people are dropping off. And then I'll use that paint. I'll water it down. I'll dip fabric in it. I'll make sculptures, and they harden. And then I'll spray them afterwards, and they harden in a way where it looks like concrete. And it's incredibly durable, and it's free.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool. So that's very interesting that this guy like. I literally am building a shop, and I haven't built the floor yet, but I did do a paint spraying project in there, and a bunch of paint soaked into just like the sand on the ground. And I was like, you should just spray the ground. Okay. This is like kind of.
You might be able to. It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
Make my own DIY linoleum.
So the difference between linoleum and vinyl is linoleum is made with linseed oil, so it's a natural substance, and vinyl is PVC, so synthetic, made of fossil fuels.
Yeah, plastic discard, as we have discussed at length.
Ad nauseam.
Yes, but we are not the biggest fans of plastic, and
Right.
No, everyone hates that.
So this is the. I guess start. How was this substance developed? The new substance.
Well, okay. 1894, Philadelphia architect Frank Furness patented rubber floor tiles. They were durable and easy to install, except they stained easily and deteriorated quickly. PVC tiles were made in 1926. And then the big thing that happened was in 1933, vinyl flooring made its debut in the Chicago World's Fair, a Century of Progress exhibition. So they were very excited about vinyl
Was
flooring.
that from the Goodrich company that brought those to the World's Fair?
I'm not sure, but,
Okay,
but probably.
Yeah,
yeah.
They showed up and like it's water resistant, it's easy to install.
Yeah.
It's the plastic, the
Material of the future.
Yeah, everybo's got to get their plastic.
What could
on.
go wrong?
Everything. I'm like 50% plastic at this point.
Yeah.
But I was reading that like linoleum was like super popular in the like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and then once this vinyl flooring started picking up, like linoleum just dropped off the face of the planet. Like it is coming back. People are like into linoleum. I didn't really grow up with too much linoleum in my day. Like I think my grandma had linoleum in her farmhouse, but we didn't have any linoleum.
They use the word linoleum sometimes for things that are just a plastic coating of a floor. So my grandma also had that, but I literally pulled it up. It was just plastic. There was nothing fancy going on.
So ugly.
Yeah.
And it just interestingly, this is not relevant to the conversation so much, but like linoleum like became a like trademark product name that became like it fell out of trademark and it just became the generic name for the product. So like anybody doing that, you can call your stuff linoleum, TM. Yeah, no one's gonna come suing you for your art.
Cool.
But I saw a lot. I tried to look at photos of grocery stores throughout the 20th century. Grocery stores are a uniquely 20th century invention, and like it looks like in the 60s and 70s it was actual like tile,
Wow.
like ceramic tile. I saw a lot of people like kind of shopping on ceramic tile. And I don't know shit about tile. The tile in my house is fucking filthy, and it's got the grout that I cannot get clean. My partner went away. She's Australian, and she went to Australia for 6 months, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit on my floor in the kitchen, and like every afternoon, I'm gonna drink a beer and scrub the grout, and I never got it clean, and it looks so much better. And I'm like, it's impossible for me to do this for the entire house. So for a grocery store to have grout like that, where they're like carrying in like dirty bananas and
Seafood.
It's like spilling everywhere. It's like leaving crab juice on the grout. Like, I don't begrudge them for getting rid of the higher end tile in like 70s, 80s. Is this one we're talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure.
So it's uglier and it's more toxic, but some kids had fun with it.
I mean, kids have fun with anything.
Crab juice.
Yeah, kids just like accept their environment in a certain way, and probably the reason, I guess, just like we were small, right? So the floor was closer and like we're bored, we're paying attention, like everything is new and exciting. And so like, floor with patterns on it.
Especially with a crooked, angle like that, like it draws your eye right to it.
I do have this. It's from a design website where they were just saying like linoleum absolutely like declined in the 60s and 70s. Like people just were like, we're done with it. Carpet was big, obviously. This plastic.
There were carpet in grocery stores.
That's the thing that I was gonna.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
I'm trying it. Until when?
It's probably to the 80s,
Okay.
but yeah. But although somebody had it, one of our guests had it later than that, but yeah, I think that was fairly common. I mean, think of more like carpet at the airport or something
Right, like a
that.
very low pie.
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
Of vibe.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like carpet in the bathrooms, carpet at the grocery store. That's the two places that you do not want carpet.
And you know what's messed up? You know that carpet was plastic also.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just that plastic was like harder to clean.
For no reason. Yeah.
But yeah, that real like dense, like low, like short fibered carpet. That real grody, crusty. Ugh.
Has a bunch of plastic underneath it.
Yeah.
They're probably like plastic floor carpet tiles.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me ask you all this hypothetical since we're talking about the carpet. If you drop like a grape or like a bunch of grapes, you drop it on the carpet at the grocery store, you're not ever going to use that. Like you're putting that back and like not buying that, right? Like it's touched carpet. It's touched gross carpet.
I mean, I always assume everything has touched the grossest thing possible, but that's why I wash it very heavily. So
I do too, but I think carpet is like another level.
You think it's a deeper level? Because sometimes the produce will go on the conveyor belt or whatever, and you can tell that thing hasn't been cleaned in a while. I know I'm going to wash it later. I might eat those grapes.
Okay.
I recently spilled an entire carton of blueberries at a grocery outlet, and immediately started like picking them up, and then like an employee came and was like, kind of like, I kept helping her pick up all the blueberries. And I was totally going to take them. I should still buy them.
Yeah.
And she would not allow that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea that you can't eat something that's fallen on the ground is pretty silly.
See, I will eat stuff that has fallen on the ground, but I think carpet for me might be a step further. Like if it's a public grocery, like food gets dropped at the airport carpet, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to eat that.
It's fair. So like a lot of shoes that have walked on gross stuff. I probably don't. I don't know.
I don't think I care as much as
Okay.
if I'm gonna wash it later.
I wash everything.
Yeah, I know, but if it's a a produce, I just assume it came from the grossest thing possible because I don't know where it came from. It's not wrapped up and whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna wash it heavily.
I only buy grapes that are individually plastic wrapped. I want them all saran wrapped and then put into a big plastic clamshell. That's the only way I'll eat a grape.
Yeah.
Only eat my food in a bio-sealed chamber. Has to have been UV sterilized first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So one of my favorite things when we do these research things is learning these new trade organizations for the most specific thing you never have heard of. So there's something called the Resilient Floor Covering Institute, which is an industry trade association leading resilient flooring manufacturers. And there was none in there. Pushing this.
Who is resilient? The floor manufacturers or the floors? When
The
you
floor.
read that, I hear resilience as the people in that union are the ones who are resilient.
They probably make jokes at their retreats about that.
Carpet's been persecuting us. Carpet's been coming after our asses for decades, but we are resilient.
Yeah.
We will not bow to carpet.
Well, so along those lines, so Armstrong is a company, and you can get their stuff at like Home Depot or whatever. But they've been around forever, and they were the original, like one of the main manufacturers of this stuff that we're talking about. They have a big article called 4 Myths About Concrete in Commercial Spaces, because right now polished concrete is the big thing that's taking over, and it's they're mad about it. So yeah,
I have a article. Well, before we get to polished concrete, because I feel like that's a very specific desert thing too. Like a lot of houses in the high desert, people are like, more in the rural areas I found as well. Like we're just ripping out the floor and you polish the concrete and you sell the house or whatever. And I don't know if I've spent as much time in polished concrete houses as I have since I moved to the high desert. Like a lot of people have polished concrete out here. And it is becoming, so I went to a few grocery stores locally to check out their floors today. And I didn't go into the grocery outlet, but I do believe I'm in a grocery outlet a lot. I'm like a guy, I go almost every day to the grocery store, if not sometimes twice. And grocery outlet does have concrete floors. Am I remembering that correctly?
that seems right.
Okay.
I've never noticed.
I took photos at our local Stater Brothers and the Vons in Yucca Valley.
Damn.
So I was a little sad to talk about this because like I haven't been paying as much attention to the grocery store floors, and I feel like that's a little bit by design, right? Like they are. We love this website. One of our favorite websites is Supermarket News. And anytime I was going through their archives looking for articles about floors, and there's a lot of stuff like in the 2000s about refreshing grocery stores. They had this one article where they were talking about like a new school Asian market, and they're like, this is not your grandma's Asian market. When you're thinking of like cracked linoleum floors and dim lighting and stuff.
But I want my
That's what I want.
But no, we're making grocery stores for millennials and Gen Xers, and we're getting rid of the cracked flooring. And now, so Stater Brothers was very, I assume it's vinyl. And again, I'm not a flooring expert, but it's like, it looks like kind of faux wood flooring. I can show you both some photos of this, and you might have more knowledge about what exactly it is. Like we put similar kind of flooring in our house where it looks like wood, but it's actually...
Yeah, so that's called luxury vinyl composites. It's taken over. It's destroyed the tile game for better or worse, because like I said, the tiles need to be waxed and maintained and stuff like that, and those don't really. You just clean them.
And fascinatingly, I was at the Vons, which is Safeway, and they had a mix of the old tiles and the new tiles. So in their high water areas, like we're talking in the floral department, in the vegetables where, you know, they crank on the rain spritz, they make the rain sound and the rain comes down and blesses the cucumbers and the Anaheim chili peppers. And those were the vinyl wood composite, but everywhere else was still that kind of vinyl plasticky tile that we're used to.
Which means they couldn't have maintained it fast enough, because that was the heavy. Those things got destroyed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, the Yucca Valley Vons, their tile looked a lot worse for the wear. Like it was not in good shape, in my opinion.
So maybe in a couple of years we can say bid goodbye to it.
I think so. I feel like, I don't know when that Vons was built, but it feels like it's on the way out.
And this is that's the Vons.
That's the Vons. The Stater Brothers was completely wood composite floors.
Yeah.
And you, at that Stater Brothers, you see people mopping there all the time. Like there's constantly just a guy constantly just mopping over everything. Have you noticed any of the floors recently at grocery stores, Lindsay?
I can't say that I have.
Okay.
I hadn't either. You're not wrong.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Because, like as children, we were focused on that,
Well, when you're kids at the grocery store, you can't go buy egg, beef, salad. You can't buy the stuff. So you got to I'm at the grocery store. What am I going to beg my mom to buy me macaroni and cheese? I'm going to read Mad Magazine and play games on the floor with my sister.
Yeah.
That's what you can do. But now it's more of a chore and the magic is gone. And we've gone to...
We buy egg now.
Must buy egg.
I did notice, and I do want to get back to the concrete floor stuff too, but a lot of this is designed for moppability. When you're looking at the... moppability and modularity, I think, are the big words that I was noticing when I was going through the history of stuff. Because earlier grocery stores, the tiles were designed in a way that reflected the layout of the store. They would have underneath the aisles, it's the tile is a different color, or you would have I don't know what you call it, inset lines in the tile, leading you to a checkout counter, or hey, this is where the bananas is, and then there's a bunch of a little square of tiles around the crate from bananas.
Cool.
And as things have gotten more modular, is you must cram more and more money making stuff into the store and move things around constantly to discombobulate people. It's more of a generic overall situation of tiling.
One fewer paycheck for somebody who would have actually thought about making a line on a floor. Yeah.
But also because they move things around so much, and it's well, how do we squeeze more money out of this aisle? Do we bring the aisles closer together? It more reflects the algorithmic approach to floor design, where it's okay, this section's making more money, so put more aisles here, and we can't have the floor tell you where the aisles are supposed to be, right?
Yeah. What if we want to change it later?
Yeah. It's just everything must become more generic and more modular and less special. I called it the boringification of the world.
I call it the nothing.
Yeah.
The nothing.
Yeah. The nothing is coming.
Yeah.
I associate the trend of making everything black and white also part of the nothing.
Gentrification houses kind of thing. Yeah.
Or just in general in businesses, you start to see that more and more, where the inside is a salt and pepper kind of vibe, where everything is white with black trim, or maybe it's gray with black trim.
Ooh, adventure.
Yeah, it's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Well, so if we're moving toward we're not even putting tile in it, we're just polishing the concrete. I mean, certainly that is saving somebody some money, because you're not putting the tiles in.
You're also not maintaining them.
Exactly. I assume that Supermarket News did an interview in 2017 with a polished concrete flooring advocate, Jef Yates. And love to read several page interviews with a guy about concrete flooring. But he says a polished concrete floor requires maintenance about once a year, which can be done by the grocer's internal maintenance staff. So you don't need special buffing machines. You probably don't need to mop it as much. It's maybe even more of a sweep. You don't have to maintain the vinyl wood flooring like they do at Stater Brothers. Do we like this development?
I would say, okay, so concrete is responsible for, I think, 3 or 4% of worldwide pollution.
Okay.
Which is a lot.
Is it just excess pollution, or is it the manufacturing?
Manufacturing.
Okay.
It's a highly refined process. However, that being said, a lot of grocery stores are built on concrete which already exists. Yeah. So I think, polishing concrete that already exists is better than bringing in more plastic.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. We don't want to get carpet. We don't want to put in some shag carpet, thick shag. Hey, let everybody get barefoot in the produce section.
I mean, that's an idea. That would be an experience. If you walked into the grocery store and there's a shoe check. I mean, maybe that's better.
Yeah, shoes off, everybody.
Shoes off. They're gross.
Yeah.
We don't want them around our food.
Yeah, we could sit.
They'll give you a nice pair of socks. Maybe take it up the next level. There's a warm bench with a warm washcloth. You kind of wipe your feet off and then put on a nice pair of socks.
Yeah, everyone would be a lot nicer.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go into like an open house and they give you those little booties to put over your shoe.
Oh, right.
Yes.
That's a different. That makes you feel like you're dirty. The other one makes you feel
I've never been to an open house where you could do that, but
yeah.
I'm a big looky-loo. If I see an open house, I
going to that?
pull over and I'm like, get me into this. I want to see all the houses.
Do you know what? Stagefright should do like a surprise show in an open house. That would be fun if the whole band came and just like set up in a living room and did a show.
Get a filming crew. Get a crew to film that. That would
be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if there's any good open houses.
I will keep. There's always a bunch in my neighborhood.
Last summer, Stagefright did a house tour. I've been trying the last 3 years. I try to get out of Wonder Valley for at least a month in the summer, and I go on tour. And last month, I was like, I don't want to do venues. Like, I just want to do houses. And so I did a bunch of house tours, and it was awesome. People were so cool. And maybe this summer I should do an open house tour where I only perform. Because a lot of the performing is in San Francisco. So, yeah, that would be cool. I could choose some really swanky open houses.
Realtors will hate you.
Yeah. I hate realtors.
I hate this one trick.
So let's try.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I love the idea. You should do it.
I think so.
I mean, I think you should do, and again, don't listen to me. I'm not a musician. I'm not a booker. But, they have like the loading dock of the grocery store behind the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's basically a stage. If you like got there like
Great idea.
11 o'clock and like told everybody to like go behind the Stater Brothers, we're going to be performing on the loading dock for 45 minutes.
It's an amazing idea. Yeah. You know where I really want to perform with Stagefright? At the top of Shoe City.
Wow. So our local Shoe City, it is... I can tell you the saga of this a little, just real quick.
Please.
They built a Shoe City. Shoe Cities is a chain of shoe store that is famous for having a very large, obnoxious sign. It's like a cube on top of the store with this transparent 2 panels that says Shoe City. And they built that without getting permission from the town of Yucca Valley.
Oh, interesting.
So the town of Yucca Valley said, you either have to tear it down or turn it into like art or a mural. So instead of putting the Shoe City logo, they just put up like a printout of Joshua trees.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you look into the Shoe City box, there's like
a
very half-assed mural of Joshua trees. There's no sign that says Shoe City. They're totally blocking a huge vista with that. Like, you're not supposed to have signs like that in the town of Yucca Valley. So that was the compromise.
The town was fine with that?
I think that it is like they found the loophole in the code that said, okay, if it's a piece of art, then we are allowed to have that. So it is just like a photograph of like Joshua trees.
And now,
well, if it's a piece of art, then it should have artists in it, right?
Yeah.
Who's in charge?
Can you get in that little box?
Listen, if anyone listening to this has any pull with Shoe City, please contact me.
I can maybe put you in touch. Not that I know people, but so our local watering hole Tiny Pony is always joking that we have the best view of Shoe City. I think a lot of the Shoe City people are tight over there at Tiny Pony.
Well,
so
hook me up.
Okay. I can talk to you.
Okay.
Off the air.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ask everybody, like, what would we like the future of grocery store tiles to be? And tiles in general. Gosh. If you're building your brand new dream home, what is the floor going to be in your dream home?
So, I'm pretty sure there's a new technology of like mycelium furniture.
Okay, do I know what mycelium is?
So it's like mushroom, basically.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They're like a
yes.
fungus material. I mean, in general, I'm pro no new anything.
We've got it.
Plenty of space. We have plenty of buildings. They already exist. So yeah, maybe it's polished concrete. I think what's his name? Jef. It was Jef.
Yeah. What's the name of the
Jef Yates.
Jeff Yates.
He is
I
from
think I'm Team Jef Yates.
Yeah.
Perfect Polish Online. There you go. You could have you could get the company logo polished into the concrete.
I'll add this. Yeah, you also could still draw the tiles.
Right, that's what I was going to say. There's nothing that stops polished concrete from being whimsical. It's like that is possible. They just don't do it.
Yes. There was a thing in the 90s that I was reading about, and I'm glad it didn't really take off, where they were trying to like put tiles, like when it was still more tile based, like they're like, if we turn some of these tiles into advertisements, we can make a bunch of extra money to read that.
Yeah, 99.
90. I saw 94 going back this far.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that didn't really take off. That is not something that we have to endure. Like we are bombarded with advertising
For now.
constantly and forever, but at the moment, it's not on the floors.
They should give it to... Jef hates the idea of advertising to kids, but that would be the place to do it. Kids are looking down.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I'll strike
Stop
that.
giving them an idea. I have an idea for that too, and I'm not going to say it.
But yeah, I would be interested to learn what mycelium is like. If I was building a dream house and could do floors or whatever, like instead of doing tiles, or like advertising tiles, like have y'all seen? I have friends who make toilet seats where they have stuff in them. Like there's like BLT stuff and like cat pictures and stuff. It's like a lucite clear toilet seat with stuff in it. Like they should just like, we got extra corn. Let's just like throw some corn into the lucite on the floor of the produce section.
Resin tiles
resin
with things
with
embedded in
lettuce
them.
and bacon and we got splotches of detergent in here in the detergent section. That could be cute and distracting.
Trash also looks great in resin, so like the grocery store could just like collect a bunch of cans or labels or things.
When you spill blueberries at grocery outlet, they just pour resin over it.
Oh,
there you go.
Amazing.
Adam, where are you at with the future of floors?
Man, it's such a dystopian question. It's hard for me to answer this in a
Resin is bad, by the way.
Yeah, it's all bad. Yeah. I guess if the concrete's already there, let's polish it up. I mean, I don't know. Wood doesn't seem very durable for this type of thing.
I would stain and get weird and wet and warp.
Yeah.
The 3 W's. Warp, wet, weird.
Dirt.
If we really, I guess you could go really hard and make like a Tadillac
What is that?
floor, like a lime-based plaster that's polished with soap and a stone, like in Greece or Morocco or Rome.
Yeah.
Will it hold up to the thing that I did recently, which is drop a thing of Gatorade and then it just cracked and spilled everywhere?
No.
It will dissolve with Gatorade?
No, I mean...
Arctic Blast flavor white Gatorade?
not if you're a highly skilled craft person.
Okay.
Then it will be totally water sealed.
Okay.
But, for the traffic of a normal American grocery store, I don't think Tadillac is the right material.
All right.
Probably.
Yeah. Clay? I'm trying to think of what would be sustainable.
Adobe floor that's polished with
Saltine.
oil.
Yeah.
Can be pretty water repellent, but I doubt it would hold up to the traffic of a grocery store.
Linoleum, I know that there's like, is linseed oil like a little bit of a plasticky thing? I don't know what linseed oil actually is.
Know what that is.
But that seems like it's relatively
It's like natural.
Yeah. It's using, it feels.
It's flax. It's flax.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe linoleum. Maybe we need to all go back to linoleum.
I've started making, using the fryer oil from the palms as a finish on some outdoor Adobe.
That's cool.
That I have, and it seems to have a pretty good hardening and waterproofing effect.
All right.
Don't know how it will hold up again to regular supermarket.
Well, the
Blueberries,
supermarkets have
Gatorade.
oil, though. Yeah, they got that.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it should just be throwing their
throw
oil,
it down,
throw
just
it down
pour
there.
it out.
I mean,
But
they're
it's like
frying.
French fries in that grocery store,
Yeah.
and that's probably going to make people buy more French fries.
They are frying a lot of chickens at Stater Brothers.
Right. It's true.
I think that's probably going to do it for us, right? Unless we have any more final thoughts about.
I think we've solved all of the world's problems in this last 90 minutes. Food co-ops,
Advertising to children.
advertising to children, and the future of American flooring and supermarkets.
Well, Lindsey, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, we've talked a lot about your band Stagefright, but if people want more of you, if they want to learn more about Stagefright, how can they do that?
Well, on March 28th, we have a festival called To Be Continued that's happening at the Palms, and we'll be performing then. There's an Instagram at Stagefright the Band. And that's it. Just come to our shows. Ask around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then for Clean Up on Aisle podcast, thank you for listening to us. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. I'm Jef Harmatz, joined as always by Adam Fligsten. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, we're out.